Some Republicans in Wyoming are opposing a bill to stop children from getting married. Yeah, you heard that right. They're trying to allow child marriage to continue in Wyoming. So now, according to reports, the Wyoming Republican Party is looking to kill the bill working its way through the state legislature, proposing to raise the state's legal marriage age to 16. So they didn't have a minimum age. Now, the bill was actually put forward by a Republican, and so in that respect, it is bipartisan, right? There is bipartisan support, but then you also have members of the Wyoming Republican Party that are saying, no, we have to allow children to get married. Now, I'll get to the arguments in detail, but first, let's get to more of the other details. The bill, which already passed the Republican-controlled Wyoming House of Representatives on a 36-25 vote last month, proposes banning state residents from marrying anyone under the age of 16, while requiring anyone under the age of 18 seeking to get married to receive written consent from their parents under the eye of a competent witness. Currently, Wyoming is it's one of just 8 states in the country, including California, Michigan, sad, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Washington, and West Virginia, without a minimum age requirement for marriage. And it currently ranks among the top 10 states, coincidentally, in the country for child marriages. Maybe not coincidentally. This is according to a 2021 study by the advocacy group Unchained at Last. So now, the number of marriages, and it's insane to think that children are getting married. Just insane in this day and age. Now, the number of child marriages, thankfully, has been in free fall over the last few decades, but just 7 states to date have voted to ban it entirely. Compare that to the Philippines, that just banned it nationwide. Other states like Tennessee, and I've reported on this before, actually went to go in the opposite direction. Republicans were actually seeking to eliminate any limits on marriage entirely until public outrage, of course, forced them to reverse course. Because it wasn't a good look. Let's just say that. Now, according to Unchained at Last, an anti-child marriage advocacy group, approximately 97% of child marriages in Wyoming are to girls aged 16 and 17. So now, funny enough, this organization is like, this bill sucks, actually. But wait. Now, they said that they don't like it because it actually doesn't do anything. So think about this. They're arguing that it's basically the minimum that you could do, right? In fact, Frady Reese, founder of Unchained at Last and a forced marriage survivor, told Newsweek, quote, "It's really great the legislators want to protect 3% of those who are impacted by child marriage. But to us, if you're failing to protect the 97% of the people you're claiming to protect, you don't really have the right to get to brag about that. To me, it's just the bill. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on at that point." Okay, so look, is that a fair point? Yeah, I actually could definitely see the argument that the bill is too weak and that it should be stronger. But that's not why Republicans are against it. Make no mistake. The Republican argument is, no, we like the child marriage, because religion. In fact, in a letter from the Wyoming Republican Party, they'd argued that preventing children under 16 from marrying denies the fundamental purpose of marriage. Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean the fundamental purpose of marriage? Robbing teen parents from the ability to remain together under one roof for any children they might bear together. There's nothing preventing people from living with each other and co-parenting. It makes no sense. Now, the Post read, "Since young men and women may be physically capable of begetting and bearing children prior to the age of 16, marriage must remain open for them, for the sake of the children." Really? Really? Oh, you're saying, oh, we must allow child marriage for the sake of the children. What? They continue by saying, the sad fact that physical maturity often does not match emotional and intellectual maturity is an indictment of our modern educational system. That is a problem that should be addressed, but we should not use it as an excuse to instantiate bad law. What about prevention? What about, proper sex education, as well as proper usage, instruction, and access to birth control measures if they do end up having sex? Not what they're doing now in saying, oh, no, we're not going to do any of that stuff. What we're going to do is we're just going to, if the kid gets pregnant, we're just going to force them to get married. I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. So, look, the right wing basically is wanting to pressure teen girls who get pregnant into getting married. And oftentimes, it's not to people of their same age. Oftentimes, it's to people who are who are older. They're trying to protect older men who prey on teen girls. That's what it is. Look, according to Unchained at Last, in the U.S., approximately 60,000 marriages since 2000 have occurred at spousal age differences that could have been considered a sex crime. Allowing a marriage license to become a sort of get-out-of-jail-free card for a would-be rapist, particularly if they impregnate the victim. And that's what it is. Instead of putting a rapist in prison, they can just, no. We'll just force them to get married so they can co-parent that child that we're forcing them to have. Oh, that's it. Oh, right. And by the way, again, there's a lot of pressure involved when it is, in places where this is happening, where this is legal. Yeah, of course you have people who are religious parents that are like, oh, no, you have to get married. God says. I mean, you can't get an abortion. You can't do this. You couldn't have taken birth control. We're not going to teach you. We're going to teach you abstinence only. Oh, look, you accidentally you got pregnant. What are you going to do? I guess you're just going to have to get married, have that baby, and it doesn't matter if, that person who, you had sex with is 30 or 26 or whatever, and you're 16, doesn't matter. You're going to have to get married because that's what Jesus says. No. Wow, no. This is their family values, everyone. We really want to protect them teen girls. No, you don't. And it's funny because, look, it's not funny, actually. But in Wyoming, approximately 20 child marriages take place in the state each year with occasionally disparate age differences. In fact, during a hearing on the bill, the Deputy State Register of Vital Statistics told lawmakers that they had seen one case where a 32-year-old man married a 16-year-old girl in Wyoming. The Casper Star Tribune reported that there have been several instances of 14-year-olds being married in the state. Understand that this is what's going to happen. This is what they're trying to protect. Old men marrying young girls. That's what it is. That's what happens in a lot of religions and a lot of traditional types of societies. And I've shown you other instances, by the way, of conservatives. People like Matt Walsh going out there and say teen girls. Teen girls as young as 16, they're very fertile. They should be married. They should be able to have kids, have families at that young age because they're more fertile. Children. Now, these are the same people that are calling LGBTQ people groomers, accusing them of being a groomer. Think about that. Think about this. This is every accusation is a confession. And I'm not saying it's all Republicans, or I should say, not all Republicans. You don't see any Democrats in favor of keeping child marriage. Look, if any party has a problem with groomers, it would be the Republican Party. So you might want to clean house there, unless, of course, you happen to agree with them.